Have you ever made an assumption about another person before and then feel like a complete when it turns out to be wrong? Have you ever assumed someone came off as a until you had about a 10-minute conversation with them and you realize that you were wrong the entire time? We have tendencies to make assumptions with limited information a lot. Assumptions can make our imagination so wild that it can creep up and bite us in the ass. Assuming can mess up anything from a good relationship, a good friendship, a good work project, or a deadline for a class. As you all can probably pick up by now, the third agreement from Don Miguel Ruiz of the 4 agreements is don't make assumptions. If you have not seen the videos on the first agreement or the second agreement so far, I have them below in the description of this YouTube video if you all want to check it out. Definitely would recommend checking out the first 2 and watching this video series in order. Imagine thinking about somebody you haven't heard from in a long time. Maybe they haven't reached out to say hello in a while. Maybe they haven't interacted with your social media posts for a certain amount of time, whatever it may be. I've seen so many people before make complete other assumptions about people based off of that alone. It's pretty wild to me. So many people I've seen assume the complete worst in a scenario or the complete worst out of another person based off of imagination and imagination only. You never know what that other person may be going through. Maybe that person is really busy. Maybe that person is focused on their passion or their career, having some family issues. Maybe they haven't been hanging out as much with people because they just need time for themselves and are just overwhelmed. The list can go on and on and on and on. However, though, assuming that they may not like you, that they hate you, that they are selfish, that they don't give a shit about you, all of that, assuming all of that will honestly ruin the connection with that person. As people, we definitely have a bad habit of trying to come up with the meaning and make sense out of everything in this world with the limited information that we have, because what it does is it essentially makes us feel safe and in control. Making assumptions in friendships or relationships will always, and I mean always, lead to trouble. An old boss of mine actually used to say this to me when I would assume stuff based off of sales meetings. He'd always say to me, never assume. You know what assume means? And I never heard this one before. I'm like, what does it mean? And he would say, it makes an ass out of you and it makes an ass out of me. It says it right in the word assume. What do we do to replace making assumptions? We ask questions. That's what we do. We ask questions. We can be a little skeptical. Skepticism is actually completely 100% okay. And when you ask questions, you can get a better understanding of the scenario. So have the courage to ask questions. When you decide to contact your friend that you haven't heard from in a while, maybe instead of assuming they don't give a shit about the friendship, I'll let them say, hey, homie, I miss you. We haven't chilled in a while. It's been a minute. What's up? You all good on your end? Everything okay? You see how much better than that sounds? And man, you just don't give a shit about me anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it just sounds so much better. And it's 10 times better for you and that other person to ask questions rather than assuming they dislike being around you, which is why they may never respond to you or whatever it could be, you know, or maybe they haven't hollered at you first, whatever it is. Asking questions is just 10 times better than making the assumption. Like something just snapped in your friend's head and they just realized or decided randomly out of the blue that they don't like you. That's a them thing, not a you thing. You still asked the question, so you did nothing wrong. You know, be the better person. Make your life a lot easier, have less resentment, and seek to understand people with questions when you catch yourself assuming. Anyways, share this video with someone that you love, who you think may benefit from this, and I will catch you all for part 4 of the final part of the 4 agreements. Anyways, I'll see you all soon.